What did you audition with SNL? Like, knowing that they were pulling on stand-ups at the time, what do you audition with when you're supposed to go in and do characters?
Not good at characters, as we found over the seasons. I got in by like a loophole. I mean, it was really Dennis Miller helped. He was one of my favorite comics. I did the Young Comedian special on HBO, which used to be a pretty big deal.
Huge deal.
I talk about that in the book a little bit, just because I don't know. It was interesting to me that I tried to get on 3 years in a row, and back when it was 3-4 networks, maybe Fox just started, and then you've got HBO, which is really the only game in town for cable. There wasn't A&E for the younger listeners. There wasn't 75 channels or 1,000.
There wasn't Snapchat for the younger listeners.
Yeah, there wasn't cell phones. For real. Yeah. No, I can't even remember that far back. But I was there, and I did stand up, and I finally got on that. I mean, I would lose out to like Richard Belzer. I'm like, I'm actually a young comedian, folks. Like, 23. I'm from Arizona. I have long blonde white hair. I looked different, could not pull it through. And then Brad Gray was the producer, Brillstein Gray, and Dennis Miller was the host. And that was when I barely got on. They had 5. They picked the 5, and I was 6.
Oh, my God.
I was like crushed again. And then Dennis and Brad told him, you know what, make it 6. And everyone will do a shorter set.
Oh, my God.
So they
awesome.
let me jam in. And then Warren Thomas, who was a comedian back then.
Passed away. Yeah.
And he did crowd work. And he did not prep that much, and he just started doing the crowd, and just one night it doesn't work as well, and they cut his time down, and they gave me my full set. So when it aired, I got a chunk out of it, and then Schneider and I, off of that, got auditions for SNL with Tom Kenny, and we went to New York and did Catch a Rising Star. Bombed again. I mean, it's just so crazy. I bombed my way into SNL because Dennis goes, Spudley, if you kill too hard, it's a bit of a red flag for these guys. They don't like some road hack. And I go, so don't do good? Like I was right before I walked up. I go, wait, what do? I don't get laughs? It didn't make any sense. But what he meant is they're looking at the writing of the jokes, which I can see now. But back then I just was like, who did the best? It was all that. So Tom Kenny did the best. And Rob and I didn't do well at all. And, it's probably 25 people there. It's one of those nights where it's just sort of like, you're just talking to yourself. So you're basically telling your jokes as written. They're almost like reading them.
Right.
It's like, here's a joke. You think that's
doing a live reading
well
of my
put
jokes
together?
tonight.
Yes, it's a live reading. And they were like, okay, we'll bring you on as writers and performers. And then, but it was more in the writing tip. They didn't really want me to write myself in for the first 2-3 years. And then Rob started to get on more. And then Farley, Chris Rock, Sandler. I was like, what about Spade? Little Spudley over here.
Was it Hollywood Minute? Is that what broke you through?
Yeah. I did that receptionist and UR. I mean, I was in little bits and dribs and drabs and update bits, but nothing that was like catching too hard. And I was always on the brink of getting fired. They would always call. Lauren would call at the end of the season. I don't know about David. Is he really fit in here? Is he working? And so, musings. Are you talking to me, sir? He's like, yeah, he gets louder. Oh, yeah, David, I don't know. Hello?
You're Dopplering, Lauren.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Not getting you. But he would call Brad, and they would talk about it. And I just would come back and try to do it again. And I wasn't a super character-y guy. I wasn't super great writer for sketches and hooks and all that. I was just doing like my jokes like I do now. It's like attitude and stuff, and it wasn't the place for it. But ultimately, I thought maybe I should do the news. I was thinking maybe that would be good. That was my decision. I didn't run it by anybody. Hey, who's doing the news now? I think you should leave. So I finally did a Hollywood Minute. Bob Odenkirk, remember him from his new show. Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. And
was Bill writing on at that time too? Was Bill Odenkirk writing?
No.
Bill never
wrote for us?
I don't think
Bill
so.
Simpson's.
Oh, Bill Simpson's. Yeah.
It was Conan O'Brien and Smigel and Bob Odenkirk and Jack Handy, Downey.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, that's why, how do I get anything on? These guys are the best guys. Like, it's unreal. And they all went, everyone's in Harvard. And then Mike Myers is writing. Chris Rock writes his own stuff. Sandler and Dana. And you go, okay, so I got to beat all them and then be better. I can't even be as good. So for the first year was just trying not to embarrass myself and read through. Like, just don't have people go, what the fuck who wrote this? Look around. I go, because no one's helping you. They want you to die. They if you get on, they don't get on. So that's what everyone talks about. There's that quiet palpable like tension of if you leave, we'll all be fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? The cast was getting fatter.
Yeah.
There was like 6 feature players and the cast members.
But when you get on, though, that means you earned it. You really earned it.
Jeez, it's so tough. Then I see Sandler pull his guitar case. I go, oh, fuck. Because every song, and I'm like, he can't have another catchy one that kills. And he's like, Red Hooded Sweatshirt. I'm like, God damn it. Singing it all week. I'm stuck in my head. I go, oh, no, it's going to kill. So these guys were all off and running, and I just... Not feeling sorry for myself. I'm just saying the reality was it took me just longer to catch up. Hollywood Minute really helped. Lauren sort of turned on me there and turned with me and said, you know, why don't you do that again next week? I was like, oh shit, yeah. And then 2 weeks later, Hollywood Minute, maybe. And I was like, oh, sure. And then that helped me get in a few more sketches. Then by the end, I stayed a year too long, like a senior that goes to community college and comes back, you know, because Will Ferrell came in and that's how long it was. He was just coming there. Sherry O'Terry, they were all great. But I just had Lauren goes, I'll just give you a 5-minute chunk. You do whatever. So I really didn't do sketches. I just stayed and had one bit that Hugh Fink, this writer I brought in, and we just...
Yeah, I know Hugh.
We wrote just bits every week. Like, I do Fio pizzas, which I figured out I hated. It's so cringy to go out there, hey, everybody. Like, I was like Billy Eichner, you know? It's like, it's just not my thing. I get so cringy. I don't embarrass people, and I feel stupid.